This is Vivo's flagship tablet, the Vivo Pad 3 Pro, and it's got a lot going for it. It has a large, and I mean large, high-resolution, high-refresh display, and it's paired with a sleek metal body and a solid flagship SoC on the inside, all while being priced very aggressively. Now in today's video, let's break things down and see what this tablet actually has to offer. If this is your first time here, or in case you just can't remember, my name's Ash, you're watching C4E Tech, and let's get started. The base version for the Vivo Pad 3 Pro is 8128, but this time I ended up going for the top SKU, 16512. The unboxing experience is pretty straightforward. Just open up the box and you have the Pad 3 Pro staring right back at you. I picked up the blue, which Vivo calls Springtide Blue. They also offer this in two other colors, Thin Purple and Cold Star Grey. Next, we have this insert, which just contains a quick start guide, and underneath we find the USB Type-A to Type-C cable along with a 6 to 6 watt Vivo Flash charger. Now guys, this is a huge tablet. I mean, with the display size of 13 inches, we are in laptop territory when it comes to form factors, right? But Vivo's kept the weight kinda acceptable for the size at about 680 grams, and the profile is also really slim at just 6.64 millimeters, though the camera up top is slightly elevated. Now the sides and the back are metal and have a matte finish, so they don't really pick up fingerprints or smudges easily, yet given the size, it's definitely quite slippery and frankly unwieldy. Now there are a few things Vivo's done to offset this. For example, the keyboard, you can just pinch and it floats. So if you don't want to type this way and instead want to hold the Pad 3 Pro in one hand while tapping with the other, you can. Another thing they've done is with the placements, talking about which, let me actually walk you guys through the placements. Horizontally to the top, we have a couple of microphones, the volume key, and here's where you can magnetically dock the Vivo Pencil 2 that's sold separately. The power button is to the left along with 4 speakers. There's nothing to the bottom, and to the right, here we find 4 more speakers alongside a Type-C port which is USB 3.2. So there's a total of 8 speakers on this tablet. So no matter how you hold it while say gaming, you still have at least 4 uncovered speakers and they sound excellent. Actually, the entire media experience on this tablet is something I'd call excellent, and that's thanks to the stellar 13-inch display that complements those 8 speakers. This here is a 10-bit IPS LCD panel with what Vivo calls a 3.1K display, 3096 by 2064. This gives it a pixel density of 286 ppi, which is higher than a lot of tablets, say the iPad Pros. Talking about which, it's worth noting that the 3:2 aspect ratio here makes for smaller black bars and a larger video area in comparison with Apple's 4:3. Anyways, the brightness peaks at 1000 nits, which is 10% higher than the claimed 900. This panel is plenty bright for mostly indoor tablet usage. And it's not just that there's a good panel here, it's also the fact that Vivo's done enough to let us actually make good use of said panel. Like see here, when you're in an app, a 3-finger swipe down takes a screenshot, but a 3-finger swipe up launches split screen. And once you have 2 apps side by side, you can resize them as you see fit. You can also easily swap them or save them as an app pair. Alternatively, you can launch split screen by tapping on top, and here you can even transform the app into a small app. Basically, it now floats on screen. Shrink it enough and it gets pinned to one corner of the screen. You can have 2 apps pinned this way, and when you create a third such small app, the first one minimizes to an icon that's tucked away. When you have enough of these, you can access them this way. Neat, right? Now the best part about this, what actually impressed me the most, is how fluid the animations are. I mean, 2 apps side by side, 2 apps floating, and it's still buttery smooth. Usually when you do these things, it's not uncommon for a frame drop here and there, a little bit of lag. Now this consistency of the animations, the interface, that is what really impressed me on the Pad 3 Pro. Now from a software perspective, this one's running on Android 14 with Origin OS 4 on top. If it gets a global launch though, Vivo would switch it to FunTouch OS as always, so I'm not really going to delve into Origin OS features, but overall the Pad 3 Pro was fast and snappy, everything felt fluid. I really enjoyed the experience here. Now this is largely due to Vivo's choice of SoC. Mediatek's flagship Dimensity 9300 is what they are using here, and we've seen this chip before. We've seen it in action on phones like Vivo's own X100 Pro, though this is the first time we are seeing it on a tablet. Now, if you look closely at the core split up on this chip, it's quite unique. Where Qualcomm uses one prime core, this uses 4. And the rest, they aren't efficiency cores, they are performance cores. And this on phones led to quite a bit of throttling. And here, given the Pad 3 Pro's sleek profile, my expectations going in were pretty tempered. But I am happy to say I was surprised and pleasantly so. Vivo's done an excellent job with the cooling. Of course, given the metal body, the Pad 3 Pro does get warm when you push it, but not uncomfortably so, since the hottest area is this one surrounding the camera, which you don't really need to touch when you're holding this tablet regardless of how you're holding it. And when I ran a stress test, the Pad 3 Pro retained over 80% of its peak performance even after being continuously pushed for 20 minutes straight. So this is an excellent tablet to game on. And Vivo, as always, provides a lot of options to customize stuff when gaming, so you do get to fine-tune your experience as you see fit. Now the big question for me though is, would you guys want to game on something this large, at least without an external controller? Let me know in the comments below. Now moving on, that strong Dimensity 9300 SoC, it's paired with 8, 12 or 16 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM and 128, 256 or 512 gigs of storage. The 128 is UFS 3.1, the rest 4.0, and all this is backed up by a whopping 11,500 mAh battery. As far as the cameras are concerned, there are two here, a 13 megapixel shooter to the back and 8 megapixel shooter to the front. It's nothing to write home about. I mean, it's a tablet camera. You can take your video calls at 1080p, it's not bad for that. And you can quickly capture 4K videos of your kid playing or a pet and scan the occasional document. It's fine for all that, just don't expect it to do anything more. Now, the absolute best part about this tablet, at least for me, is its pricing. In China, Vivo's launched this at 2999 RMB, which converts to a little under 35,000 rupees Indian or a little over $400 US. And for that price, even if you add a 20-30% markup to it, because that's what happens when products go global, even at that price, this still looks to be an excellent tablet for anyone wanting a large screen productivity or gaming powerhouse. And the accessories, they aren't ridiculously priced either. The Pencil 2 is 499 RMB, the keyboard case is 599. Pretty competitive, right? So what do you guys think about the Vivo Pad 3 Pro? Would you like to see this tablet launch in other markets outside of China? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Ash out.